Hey everyone, this is Goku-san DBZ and welcome back to Rate the Costume, Mortal Kombat XL, or Mortal Kombat X. First up is Rai Cho. I'm going to start Rai Cho, go down, and then go the opposite direction on the bottom. And rate the costumes. Okay, first up, base costume for Rai Cho, and the only costume for Rai Cho. I give it a... Well, I'm going to have to give this costume or whatever look a 3 out of 10. Next up, Tonya. Now, even though she's not exactly one of my favorite characters in the game, now her costume design and design in general in this game is a lot better than I actually like of her gameplay. I give Tonya, since this is the only costume she has, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Next, base costume for Kunjin. I'll give this a 5 out of 10. Next, this sort of like Robin Hood-esque type, well, not Robin Hood, but sort of ninja type costume. I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. And last is probably my favorite costume. I'll give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Because it's kind of like, I feel like a reference obviously to something like Robin Hood, which is quite interesting. Next up, basic Jackie Briggs. I'll give this a 5 out of 10. Boot Camp Jackie, it's not really any different. Also a 5 out of 10. Scorpion cosplay costume. I actually give it maybe I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's definitely better than her base costume in the air. This one, a 4 out of 10. It looks pretty stupid to me. And it doesn't really fit, I feel, either in Mortal Kombat. But that's just me. Next up, Cassie Cage. Basic costume of Cassie Cage. I actually have to give this one probably a 7 out of 10. I actually think it's pretty solid and well designed. This one, not feeling it. I give this one a 4 out of 10. Subzero cosplay is kind of weird though that she doesn't wear the mask where Jackie at least does. I give hers a 5 out of 10. Just doesn't feel right without a mask on. And this, also give this one a 5 out of 10. Next up, Cicada. This like techno ninja type design outfit, I give this one a 7.5 out of 10. It's actually pretty solid overall. Next is Shirai Ryu. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. And this one, yeah, I'm not feeling the steampunk outfit. Give it a 5 out of 10. Next, base Melina costume, which is really good redesign of her costume, I think. I have to give this costume an 8 out of 10. I actually really like it quite a bit. Next up, this one, I'm not feeling too much. I give it a 6 out of 10. The Vampiress, however, outfit, yeah, I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. I like it quite a bit. Then her classic, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 10. Next up, Subzero. Now, the first outfit here, I actually give this costume probably an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really good design. Now, believe it or not, this is actually my favorite Subzero design in the game. I have to give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Then we go with this. Yeah, I give this a 3 out of 10. Don't like it at all. This one is actually one of, I feel, the better classic design costumes. I give this probably a 6.5. And then this weird blue steel, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's not too bad overall. It's still kind of weird though with the whole eyes and everything. Yeah, Scorpion's one of the unique ones with many costumes. His base costume in this game of Scorpion, even though he may not be higher up on my list for personally a play with design-wise, I give this costume of his a 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty solid. This, however, this costume, this gets a 10 out of 10, a perfect score for me. I love it. Next, the Hanzo Hasashi. I'll give this actually maybe a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10. It's not bad. I like it more than some people. This gets a 4 out of 10. Injustice. I have to give the Injustice costume an 8.5. It's actually really solid, probably my second favorite costume in the game for Scorpion. The classic Scorpion I'm not feeling as much, just mainly because I feel the mask is too big. I give this version of the costume, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And the last one, this gets a question mark out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. I'm just not sure how I feel about it. Next up, Katana. This regular costume is probably my favorite costume of hers, easily. I give this costume an 8 out of 10. I like it a lot more than some people do. I think the design is really solid. This one, I actually don't mind the tournament. I give it a 7 out of 10. This I feel is way too much. Way too weird for her. I give it a 5 out of 10. And her classic, sorry, I'm giving a 4 out of 10. Next up, Kinship. I have to give this costume here, I'm giving this costume a 8 out of 10. It's actually one of my favorite costumes in the game. His tournament version, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. But his Ronin version, I actually like this more than probably a lot of people do. I give this costume a 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's probably my top 10 favorite costumes in the game. I just like the Ronin costume design, honestly. Next, Sonya Blade. Base Sonya Blade costume, nothing special. 5 out of 10. Tournament, I actually like this version better of her. I'm gonna give this one a 6.5. Major Blade, not much different. I'll probably give it also a 6.5 out of 10, the same. This one I give a 5 out of 10. And the MK1, it is nice, but still overall, I have to give this one, sorry, a 4 out of 10. Next, the base Jax costume, I actually give this probably a 6 out of 10. This one is a little bit better. I'll probably give this one a 6.5. Farmer, no, I give it a 5 out of 10. This I feel is kind of ridiculous. I give this one a 5 out of 10. And this one, I actually probably give this one a 7 out of 10. I think it's probably the best one for him. Costume 1 of Kung Lao, I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. Next up, this version of the costume, I'm also going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. Now, the MK3 one is nice, head nod and stuff, but I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. And then this one, it's a little ridiculous. I give it a 5 out of 10. Of course, there's only one costume for Jason. I give Jason a 9 out of 10. I think it looks really good, very much loyal to the movie. Specifically reminds me of his design in Freddy vs. Jason, which I like that movie quite a bit. But yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10 to Jason. Alien. And of course you have different heads for different styles. I like that one. This is my personal favorite head, though this is my favorite variant. Overall, though, I have to give this character design a 10 out of 10, perfect score. Now, on Leatherface, this version of him, I give maybe a 5.
Leatherface.
I like this one a little bit more, a bit creepier, but overall, yeah, I'm going to give him maybe a 6 out of 10. Next up, this version of Predator, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10.
Predator.
And probably an 8 out of 10 for the one without the mask. I'm going to wait. But next, Kano. This costume, I'm going to give a 6.5. I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. 3 out of 10. 4 out of 10. This version of John Cage, I actually am going to give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. This version, actually, the tournament version of John Cage, I'm actually going to give probably an 8 out of 10. No, 4 out of 10. 5 out of 10. And I'll give a 6 out of 10 for the soccer version. For Aaron Black, without the hat, this costume gets about a 6.5. With the hat, it gets probably a 7.5. Sorry, no to this. This gets a 4 out of 10. This gets a 2 out of 10. This base costume of Liu Kang, I'm gonna have to give this one probably a 9 out of 10. It's a really good redesign of Liu Kang's classic, I feel. No, I'll give this a 4 out of 10. 5 out of 10. And I'll give that a 5.5 out of 10. I'm saving a couple things for last. Now, of all the variants of Triborg, coloration-wise and design, my favorite design is Sektor. Hands down. Overall, I give the regular Triborg probably overall, balance it out, probably an 8 out of 10, but for Sektor's version, probably an 8.5 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. Now, Tremor, as long as he keeps the mask on, I give Tremor's design an 8 out of 10. Goro, of course that's the only version of him. I'm going to give Goro's a 9 out of 10. He looks really good. Easily the best he's ever looked in this series. Yeah, I'm just randomly going for some of these. Devora base costume, I'm giving a 5.5. I'll give a 5. This gets a 3. I'll be nice and I'll give this actually a 6 out of 10. This, I'll give that a 6 out of 10. A 4 out of 10. And also a 4 out of 10. Reptile, the base Reptile design in this game, I'm gonna give a 7 out of 10. It's pretty solid overall. This version gets a 5 out of 10. And this weird one, I'm gonna give a 4 out of 10. But classic Reptile with this bit redesign on the mask and everything, I give this version of Reptile an 8 out of 10. Easily my favorite. Base Kotal Khan design, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. This version I actually find interesting and unique. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. And Dark Lord, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I give the base Quan Chi design in the game, I give it an 8.5. I like it more than some people do, that's for sure. This version, I give a 7.5. And the MK4, I'll give a 6.5. Now the base Airmat costume, this costume gets a 9 out of 10. This one, I give a 7 out of 10. The Pharaoh one gets probably also a 9 out of 10. I like it a lot more than most people. And then his classic costume, I'll give it a 7.5. Base costume Raiden, I like the coloration, the detail on his costume. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Tournament Classic, I give this one a 7.5 out of 10. This weird future techno version, I give it a 7 out of 10. But Dark Raiden gets a perfect score. 10 out of 10 for me. Last but not least, Shinnok. Basic version of Shinnok, this design of him, I'd still like quite a bit. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Samurai Shinnok, I give an 8 out of 10. Wrathful Shinnok, I give a perfect score, 10 out of 10. As I said, I like Shinnok a lot more than most people do. But anyways, that's it for Rate the Costume. So leave me a comment below, tell me what your personal favorite costume is in the game. And which is your favorite character overall, design-wise. But I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.